What's good, everybody? Your boy Uncle Sam's Reject here with some more College Hoops 2K8. And we have finally just finished our conference tournament. You know what I mean? We are the conference tournament champions. That was last episode. Now it's time to move on to Selection Sunday to see where we're seated. What I'm going to do with this, I'm going to let it just play through. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to interfere at all. Not going to commentate at all. And then at the end, we're going to talk about what we all saw together, where we're seated, and what we think might could happen for us. So without further ado, let's get into the show.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel at the Anchor Desk with my partner Clark Kellogg, bringing you the 2K Sports NCAA Selection Show. We're all set to show you the seedings and pairings, so get out your bracket sheet, get those pencils ready. Here are the basics. Of the 65 available tournament bids, 31 are automatically given to conference champions. The tournament committee hands out the remaining 34 bids on an at-large basis. An opening round game will take place on Tuesday night to narrow the field to 64 teams. Before we get into the brackets for the upcoming tournament, let's take a look at the final top 25 media poll. There are a couple of major changes in the rankings as March Madness approaches. The Indiana Hoosiers jumped all the way from the number 15 spot to number 10.
They're peaking at just the right time, Greg. This is exactly the way you want to be playing going into the tournament.
Also, a new team has fought its way into the top 25. The Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders break into the poll as the number 24 team. Now let's take a look at the NCAA tournament bubble and see which teams are sitting at home with their fingers crossed, hoping to see their name in the brackets. There are a lot of worthy candidates among these 10 teams, Clark. Which of these bubble teams stands out to you right now?
Arkansas. They're just enough to get on the bubble, but I'm not sure they did enough to get off the bubble. There may have been a few too many bumps in the road for them.
And we have a few more teams in similar position, right, Clark?
Eastern Washington can take comfort in the fact that there have been so many great showings by non-power conference schools in the tournament in the past few years. The committee has really warmed up to those conferences.
I'm sure it's been a long week for those teams, but the wait's almost over. The NCAA Selection Committee has finished its meeting, and we're ready to unveil the top 4 seeds in this year's tournament. The Wisconsin Badgers are the top overall seed, and they will play in the East Regional. They begin the tournament as the dominant team in college basketball. They've been ranked number 1 in the media poll for the past 2 weeks. Let's see if they can live up to everyone's expectation. On to the second number 1 seed, who will play in the South Regional. The Florida Gators are seeking their 3rd NCAA championship in school history. The Duke Blue Devils are our 3rd number 1 seed, and they'll play in the Midwest Regional. They're back in the tournament again, and no doubt they'll be feeding off the experience of last year's appearance as they try to get to the Final Four this year. And finally, our 4th number 1 seed will play in the West Regional. The Louisville Cardinals are in the tournament field as a number 1 seed for the first time in the history of their program. Now, here's how the brackets shape up based on where the number 1 seeds have been assigned. In one national semifinal game, the winner of the East Regional will play the winner of the South Regional. In the other semifinal game, the winner of the Midwest Regional will play the winner of the West Regional. Those games will be played on Saturday, April 5th. Then it'll be on to the national championship game on Monday night, April 7th. Any surprises in there for you, Clark?
I don't think I'm alone in my surprise with these picks. Whenever you reach this far down the poll for the top seeds, you're guaranteed to have some second guesses coming your way.
So, with the number 1 seeds out of the way, it's finally time to tackle the rest of the brackets. First up, we take a look at the East Regional. The Wisconsin Badgers are the top seed, finishing at 24-7. They were winners of the regular season championship in the Big Ten. They will take on the winner of the opening round play-in game between Alabama State with 16 wins and Marist from the Metro Atlantic Conference. And now the number 8 seed, the Princeton Tigers, come into the tournament after an outstanding season in the Ivy League. They're going to play the number 9 seed, the Vanderbilt Commodore, who were 6th in their conference, finishing at 20-13. Pittsburgh comes in as the number 5 seed, finishing at 21-10. And they will take on the 12th seed from the ACC, the away team, with 18 wins. Rhode Island enters the field as the number 4 seed from the A-10 Conference. This is their 9th appearance in the NCAA tournament in school history. They'll be getting ready to face the number 13 seed, the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Finished the season with 20 wins.
The Rhode Island Rams are a team that is just so powerful and strong up front. I would put their front court up against just about any other teams in the nation right now. It's always good to have strong guard play, but if you ask most coaches, I guarantee you they take the good big man over the good little man most times. Their interior play should serve them very well in this competition.
The Xavier Musketeers are in as the number 6 seed. They'll be taking on the number 11 seed, the Virginia Cavaliers, with 19 wins. Villanova comes in as the number 3 seed, finishing at 24-8. UNLV comes in to face them at number 14 with 18 wins in the tournament championship of the Mountain West Conference. Our number 7 seed is from the A-10 Conference. The away team were rewarded for their outstanding play this season with an at-large bid and a ticket to the Big Dance. They are going to play the number 10 seed, the Iona Gale, who finished second in their conference tournament, finishing at 24-9. Next up is the number 2 seed. The Dayton Flyers are the conference tournament and regular season champions from the A-10 Conference. They'll be going up against the number 15 seed, the Loyola Ramblers, with 16 wins. This is their 6th appearance in the NCAA tournament in team history. This bracket has the potential to give us a sensational matchup in the regional final if everything goes according to form and the top 2 seeds can survive the early rounds. Next up, we'll take a look at the South Regional. The Florida Gators are the top seed, finishing at 27-6. They won both the regular season and conference tournament titles in the SEC. They'll take on the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, the number 16 ranked team. This is their 3rd appearance all time in the NCAA tournament, finishing at 19-8. Southern Miss comes in to face them at number 9 with 17 wins and the regular season championship of Conference USA. Long Beach State enters the field as the number 5 seed from the Big West. This is their 9th appearance all time in the NCAA tournament. They'll be getting ready to face the number 12 seed, the Montana Grizzlies. Finished the season with 19 wins.
The Long Beach State 49ers have got to be among the group of teams that has a chance to win the whole thing. I love the way they play on both ends of the floor. I'd be shocked if they don't at least advance from their bracket to the Final Four. But more than that, I think they've got a legitimate shot to win some hardware.
Harvard comes in as the number 4 seed, finishing at 23-7. And they'll take on the 13th seed from the Southland Conference, the Texas Arlington Mavericks, with 18 wins. And now the number 6 seed, the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats, come into the tournament first in their conference during the regular season and were winners of their conference tournament. They are going to play the number 11 seed, the Miami Hurricanes, who were semifinalists in their conference tournament, finishing at 19-11. 16 seeds, Clark.
Villanova surprised me with their seed. I thought their performance this season would put them in as a 4 seed. Florida is the softest of the top seed. I'm not going to say exactly when they'll go down, but if I had to pick a number 1 team that won't be at the Final Four, it would be them.
Now, let's bring the conference picture into focus. The Big 12 gets 7 teams. The A-10 with 6. 5 out of the SEC. The ACC gets 5 teams.
What a down year for the non-power conference. We're used to seeing at least one of those conferences compete on the level of the power conference, but not this year.
And let's not forget the teams out of the Ivy League. For a small conference, they competed at a very high level this year. Those teams could be the place to look. We showed you the bubble teams before. Now that we know who's in and who's out, what do you think of the selections, Clark?
Virginia is going to sleep a lot better tonight than they did last night, Greg. I wasn't sure they were going to get that invitation, but they snuck in through the back door. Now we'll see if they make the most of it.
All right, Clark, now that we know all the teams and matchups, time to get the tournament underway and let the madness take over.
Greg, let's throw the ball up right now. I can't wait to get started. I hope this is an NCAA tournament that gives a lot of those special moments that stay with us for years to come.
For my partner Clark Kellogg and for all of us here in the 2K Sports Studios, I'm Greg Gumbel. Thanks for joining us on the NCAA Selection Show, brought to you by State Farm, the #1 auto insurer. Enjoy all the excitement of the NCAA tournament.
All right, guys, what's up? So I forgot to turn my mic on after the selection Sunday. Also in the next game, the first round game, you're going to see that I forgot to turn my mic on as well. But basically all I was saying was that we did end up getting the 6th seed like projected. In the South region, our #1 seed is Florida. The Florida Gators first will be taking on the University of Miami Hurricanes. They're 19-11. They made it to their Final Four of their conference tournament. You know what I mean? On paper, we are overmatched because they are a power conference school. But we do have the better record, and we're the higher seed, so we have to play as such. So we're ready to take this game on, ready to get this W, and I'll see you next episode. Peace.